Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have Djibouti celebrates World Telecommunication and Information Society Day like other countries. For the international scene, Palestine, highest daily death toll since Monday in Gaza, new impasse at the UN. Welcome to our newsroom. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, attended yesterday the virtual open-ended extraordinary meeting of the OIC Executive Committee at the level of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the member of the state on the subject of the aggression committed by Israel, the occupying power in the Palestinian territory, particularly against the city of Al-Quds Al-Sharif. The OIC member state condemned in the strongest term the brutal aggressions carried out by Israel, the occupying power, against the Palestinian people. Its territory and its sanctuary demands the complete and immediate cessation of all such as aggression which target innocent civilians and their property and which constitute grave violations of international law and United Nations resolutions. The Minister of Defense in charge of relation with the Parliament, Hassan Umar Mohammed, received today the working visit of the commanders of AFRICOM, General Stephen Townsend, accompanied by the ambassador of the United States to Djibouti. The meeting took place in the presence of the Djiboutian side of the General of Corps Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces. During this meeting, the Minister of Defense in charge of relations with Parliament, His Excellency Hassan Umar Mohammed, praised the historical links and the privileged relations between Djibouti and United States. Throughout the last year, the Minister then said he was pleased and proud of the cooperative relations between Djibouti and the United States, and also recalled that Djibouti and U.S. are partners in the fight against terrorism and expressed his desire to strengthen relations between the two countries. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Muhammad Mahmoud, participated today in the World Conference on Education for Sustainable Development organized by the UNESCO in collaboration with the Federal Republic of Germany. This virtual conference, chaired by German Chancellor Angela Merkel and the Director General of UNESCO, brought together more than 215 participants from around the world. In addition to the Minister of Education, the Djibouti Ambassador to France, and UNESCO, Mr. Ayed Musa'ad Yahye, and the Secretary General of the Ministry of Education, Mr. Mohamed Abdallah Mahyoub, the Secretary of the National Commission for UNESCO, Mr. Mohamed Musa Yabe, and senior officials from the Ministry of Education and Vocational Training took part in the video conference. The political leaders and experts unanimously emphasized the need to rely on education to achieve the development goals by 2030. For his part, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Muhammad Mahmoud, spoke about the achievement of our country in terms of education for sustainable development. He talked about the appropriation of the SDG and in particular the sustainable development goals by our government, the integration of indicator in our planning, the revision of curricula underway, which gives special places to the issue of education for sustainable development, and the workshop on development education. On this World Day of Telecommunication and Information Society, the Minister of Telecommunication Radwan Abdullahi Bahdoun made a speech in which he emphasized the accelerations of the digital transformation, especially in this period marked by COVID-19. The Republic of Djibouti, like the member state of the International Telecommunication Union, celebrate this May 17, 2021, the World Telecommunication and Information Society Day. The theme chosen for this year's by ITU, specialized agency of the United Nations for Information Technology and Communication, is accelerating digital transformation in these difficult times. This theme reflects the essential role of information and communication technology, but also the staggering inequalities in the digital domain that exists within each country and from one country to another. The 2021 editions of the World Day aims to promote the accelerations of digital transformation, especially in this unprecedented time. The year 2021 is marked by the emergencies of an unprecedented health crisis that has forced us social distancing and left the world with the only digital means to continue functioning. The coronavirus pandemic has forced us to find new way and working and interacting. This crisis has underscored the urgency to act and accelerate the digital transformation of our society. Moreover, it has highlighted how digital technology is a key component of our collective effort to meet this challenge. Since a few weeks, several dangerous toys are circulating in the capitals. These guns with a small marble are real dangers because they can injure in a very serious way. This is the case of a little girl aged 5 months who was seriously injured by these marble guns, which are on sale in all the stores of the city. They can also be ingested by the smallest children. That is why parents are strongly advised not to provide their children with such dangerous toys. The 5-month-old child required an emergency operation to remove the object. This operation carried out by the police commanders Dr. Abdallah Mahyoub, thoracic and cardiovascular surgeon, was a real success, he said. Because of the end of this intervention, the life of the child was saved. Indeed, the plastic ball was lodged in the leg and required on the emergency operation. Several operations of seizures of these dangerous toys were immediately carried out by the elements of the national police. The police commander, Dr. Abdallah Mahyoub, said that this operation was a real success because at the end of this intervention, the life of the child was saved. As part of the strengthening of the lives of people with disability, the National Agency for Persons with Disability organized this morning at Haramus a ceremony to hand over the keys of electric motorcycle to people with reduced mobility. This ceremony was chaired by the director of INPH, Mr. Anglais Said Mahmoud. The electric motorcycle, which will greatly improve the living conditions of disabled people in Djibouti. This handing over of this electric motorcycle is part of the development of the national policy for disabled people. The ceremony of handing over the keys of the electric motorcycles was attended by the Director of Social Insertions and Rehabilitation, Ms. Shukri Hashin, the Director of Communication, Ms. Muna Abubakar Siddiq, the staff of the agency, and the people with the special needs. For his part, the Director General of the NPH, Mr. Anglais Said Mahmoud, said that this handing over of the electric motorcycle is part of the development of a national policy for disabled people. under the auspices of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports in collaboration with the National Olympic and Sports Committee Djibouti. The Djibouti Federations of Badminton organizes technical courses for coaches of badminton types, one to be held from 15 to 20 to 19th May at the gymnasium of the State High School. The launch of this technical course for coaches has seen the participation of the senior officials of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports and the National Olympic Committee, including the Director of Sports, Mr. Abshir Hassan Ali, and the President of the Djiboutian Federation of Badminton, Mr. Musa Daher, and the badminton experts, Mr. Pernado. Guests of Marcus and amateurs of this sporting event also took in this ceremony of launching of the training course for the benefit of some tens of the trainers who will benefit practical training of this discipline. For the international scene, Israeli occupation forces strikers killed 42 Palestinians in Gaza on Sunday, including many children in the bloodiest day of a week, escalating violence, while an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council failed to produce any progress. The carnage continued today. This senseless cycle of bloodshed, terrors, and destructions must end immediately. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres had earlier said at the opening of the Security Council meeting, fearing that the outbreak of the violence would lead to an uncontrollable security and humanitarian crisis. But this third virtual session did not produce any proposals. A total of 42 Palestinians, including at least 8 children, and 2 doctors were killed on Sunday in Israeli bombardment on Gaza, according to the local health ministry. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.